Lieutenant General Javid Mahmoud Buhari, Quartermaster General, Excellencies, High Commissioners, and distinguished guests. Assalamu alaikum. And Husham did. It is a great pleasure for me to welcome all of you who have kindly joined us to celebrate the 63rd anniversary of the Japan Self-Defense Forces. It was 1st July in 1954 when our defense forces was established. And so here we organize the anniversary when it comes closer to that date. However, in Japan, the commemoration date is 1st November. That's 4 months later. I mentioned the reason for this last year, but I like to refer to this once again because I believe it's important in order to know the nature of our defense forces. During the early post-war period, Japan was still in process of recovery from the effects of war and quite vulnerable to disasters, which often take place in summer and autumn. During these seasons, the defense forces in Japan should be well prepared for the possible relief activities for the people who may suffer from the disasters and have no time to arrange any of the ceremonial events. So the Defense Ministry decided to designate not 1st July, but a bit later, 1st November, as the date for commemorating its establishment, in order to make sure that people are protected against natural disasters. Also, unlike in many other countries, the day of establishment of our forces, 1st November, is not a national holiday, but just one of the usual working days in Japan. All this is based on one of the very fundamental guiding principles of the Japanese Defense Forces, which is to serve the people always comes first. Looking outside, international cooperation for peace and stability has been one of the most important principles of our defense forces since the very beginning of its establishment. And in this context, I'm very much pleased to note that Japan and Pakistan have been cooperating closely in international disaster relief activities and counter-piracy operations in the waters, for instance, off the coast of Somalia and in the Gulf of Aden through Combined Task Force 151. In March this year, Japan Maritime Defense Force took over the command of the CTF 151 from Pakistan Navy. And also back in February this year, Japan Maritime Force joined the multinational naval exercise Aman 2017, organized by the Pakistani Navy in Karachi. It was a good opportunity for the Pakistani Navy and ours as well to ensure interoperability as needed for the operation and to promote mutual understanding. This year marks 65th anniversary of diplomatic relationship between our two countries. Whereas today we are celebrating 63rd anniversary of our defense force. So the history of our bilateral relationship is longer by 2 years than that of our post-war defense forces. So I do hope that Japan and Pakistan will further strengthen the cooperation, not only in the political or economic fields, but also in the defense areas such as disaster management, UN peacekeeping operations activities, training and exchange of military personnel or naval ships, as an integral part of the overall bilateral relationship between our two countries. So I will stop here, and finally I'd like just to close my remarks with the very comfortable words: Japan, Pakistan, Zindabad. Thank you very much.